So we did hit up one sale over the weekend. This is before we got the big video game haul from the dump. And I spent $25 at this sale, and I think I did pretty well. You know, it was probably the third day the sale had been going on. And so I just went real quick and checked it out, and I still managed to come out with some pretty good stuff. So I'll just show you what I got here. I did not comp anything at this sale. I just picked what I thought was good, and the guy was really good on his prices, so I'll show you what we got here. So I just grabbed a few VHS that I thought that were decent. That I just grabbed them. Lonesome Gun, there wasn't that many there. You always got to be on the lookout for these. This thing was just in here, and so I went to open it up. It's actually one of these adapters. It's not the best brands, it's just like Digital Concepts. We've had this one before. This is like $20, maybe 30. There's an Archer, season 1. That one is sealed. Another VHS. These Western ones can do alright. They're like $5 usually. We got some Blu Rays here. Leon the Professional. I was actually surprised to see that they had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, considering that most of the stuff was kind of older. 7 Psychopaths. We'll go down to these other ones here. We got this Rob Zombie. I had never seen these before, so I just picked it up. The Venture Bros. I just made a bag, and the guy gave me a price. Sling Blade. So this one does sell pretty well. I think this is around like a $15 to $20 DVD. A sealed one's like $35, so we have a Twilight. Whenever you come across these double features, they can sometimes do good. These aren't really popular movies. They can be popular, but they're over popular. So we have this Unforgiven. I thought this was a pretty cool score. This is a Pet Sematary 2-movie collection, and it is Blu Ray DVD, and they both are sealed. So that was a score there. We have this John Wayne double feature here. There was some CDs. I only picked a few of them. There were a lot more basic countries. But there was this Rick Trevino. That's not somebody that you typically see. So there was that one. There was also another copy of him here. So I thought, he's got to be worth a little bit, just because he's more obscure than what you normally see. I picked up Joe Diffie just because we used to listen to him quite a bit. It was like right before he passed away. And then he passed away. But this album has some pretty good ones on there. If you like some country. It's getting a little bit out of focus. There we go. But yeah, this is a good album. We got George Jones, Tammy Wynette, and then Dwight Yoakam. I just can't really leave Dwight Yoakam behind, so I always just pick him up, cassettes or vinyl. I don't find much vinyl. A few here and there, but cassettes and CD. We did get some cassettes. I'll show you here soon, but there was a couple loose ones. Neil Young, Crazy Horse. Neil Young has a good following. I was going to leave this, but just a kind of unique. So, Our Song, I'm not sure what that one is. We do have this MASH book, this Zombie Survival Guide. We do have this, I don't even know, this anime book. It's kind of weird, it's really heavy, but for how small it is. And then this Doberman Pinscher book, I just got it on a whim because it's kind of a niche, whatever thing. It says 25 cents on there. But again, I didn't scan any of these items. But I'll show you, there's still some more here, so I'll show you. So this is the next stuff that we had got from that sale. There was this big coffee book. It looked interesting, so I just threw it in there. Again, I didn't comp anything. These Far Side Galleries, we've had this one before on the front. I knew it wasn't worth much, but there was 2 of them. So maybe it's like $10 together, 15. I passed on these at first, but then I looked over and I'm like, there's 3 different books of these Simon's Cats. So I just picked them up. I can just do a lot, it'd be simple. There was this thing of cassettes. I looked through it, and it was like mostly kids ones. I saw some Disney's, and I threw it in the pile. I went through there a little bit more, and there was a Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is kind of cool. I don't really pick up, DVD, VCRs, and Blu Ray players to sell. I usually just pick them up to keep for myself. But I'd gotten rid of all the other brands and only been keeping Sony's for myself now. And then I went to this sale, and I've never seen this Sony VHS player. I mean, this guy was wanting like $2 for these things. Again, I just threw them in the pile. They both had the remotes, but this one just looks kind of fancy on this knob, and it's hard to pass up the Sony. And then there's this Sony Blu Ray player. So I thought, I'll just throw them in there. They're so cheap. There was another VCR, but I left that one behind because it was some other brand. And then he had all these paperback books. There was a lot of Star Wars in here. I mean, he was like $2 for like this box of books. So he said, oh, some guy came and bought all the Star Trek ones. Which, I mean, I don't really care. I was just in it for the paperbacks. I had gone to some library sales and got a whole bunch. It's been a while actually now, but there is one Star Trek. So I have some other ones. I saw these here. This brand, Thor. That one seems to do pretty good with like sci-fi. So whenever I see that on a site, I will pick them up. So, of course, everybody knows Star Wars. They have a tremendously good following. But maybe there's some hitters in here. Probably not. But together, I'm sure I can do pretty good. And then there's one more item that I will dig up. I think I got a picture that I'm going to put up on the wall. But that's for myself. So I'm going to get the other item. So this is the last thing that I had purchased there. This was actually the reason I went, because it just said books and 45s and random other stuff that I didn't care about. So I'm like, I don't know if the 45s will be there. It's the third day. But I went, and there they were. And I haven't even gone through these. So I'm probably going to end up going through these and making a video on it. This was the only one I looked at. It was right on the front. But it was my boy, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So, Stevie Ray Vaughan's pretty badass. The Sky is Crying. You probably know that song. But whenever I find his stuff, I never sell it. I've been keeping it for myself. So, this is actually the first 45 that I've found. Back when I first started, way before I even started reselling, so it's like 2009, I was into buying vinyl. And this lady, my aunt, had called and said, hey, this lady wants to rent a U-Haul. She's cleaning out her house. If you show up there, she'll let you have her record player. I was like, alright. Well, I went over there, and she said, hey, you help me move these shelves, you can have $10 and the record player. I was like, alright. So I took the record player, and then I had like 15 records before that. And once I got it was like a huge cabinet one from the 60s. I ended up going crazy. Ended up with like 500 records. And so I would just buy everything that I ever even heard of. If I seen it out there, and I had a little tiny bit I knew of them, I'll just buy it. So I only went to thrift stores. That was all I ever went to. I wouldn't go to the record store. And I had a ton of records. But I kind of got out of it around 2013. But I still have all the records. Some of them are in storage. Some are at the other place. But I have a ton of records. They kind of got a little jacked up from moving. And me just not caring about them as much. But I can remember one time. This is when I was kind of starting to fall out of it for a minute. I went yard selling with my parents. And we go to this yard sale, and I see this watermelon crate. And I still have this crate if I ever pull it out. and there was a huge stack of records on it, and the crate was full. And then I'm like, how much for the records? I asked the lady. She's like, I really don't want to carry these back in the house. Tell me a price. And I said, $10. She's like, take it. So it ended up being like 160 vinyls, and it was like late 60s to mid 80s classic rock, more common stuff. But there was some really good stuff. To me, that was like the holy grail. That's all I knew. Whatever you heard on the radio, that's what it was. So I was in love with it, and me and my dad and my friends, we just went through it. But anyways, there's these remotes that I was telling you about. I think that's about all, really. I'm going to go through these vinyls. I haven't even done anything besides glance at this first one, so they're not in the best condition. I mean, the Stevie Ray Vaughan looks pretty good, but a typical 45 for us is like $3 to $10, so it's similar to a VHS. They're easy listers, easy shippers, so I don't mind them at all. But one time we did sell a Tiffany vinyl. The song was called like Danny or something, Daniel, and it was like $50. So that was a highlight of my 45 selling. But that's it. We did have 2 sales. It's been going a little bit slower. I think it's closer to Christmas, and I've been working on these videos. These videos take up a lot more time, so it's harder for me to get some listings up. I am going to have a little vacation from my normal job. I come out here around 9:30 to 10 at night until midnight, and then, I go into work at 8 in the morning. So I don't have a lot of time. So if I'm working on videos, then, I'm giving up time to list. But I've been enjoying doing the videos. I used to have a YouTube page a long time ago, and now I've been working on this one again. But anyways, Afterburner, all those video games we found at the dump. This one sold for like $8.25. I had it listed for $9.99. This one is really clean. It is this 10 Gen, which I don't think is very popular. Next we have this Tammy Wynette Country Classics. This thing is actually a very clean cassette. Country can be hard sometimes to get sales. This sold for $9.99. We got this from a local auction house. A lot of times at the local auction house, if there's any media related items, I would bid on it, and nobody bids against me. I could get them for like $1. The lot's $2. So, but yeah, 2 sales.